that's when I used different mixed media materials, not polymer clay. And I was like, how am I gonna do this? And that's where I was like, well, what could I use? And that started the search for finding things that were affordable. What could I recycle? What's something I could look at in a new way to make a little taco for my friend's Mexican restaurant? And so that's where starting to make other food happened. Then a little burrito followed, and then I was like, maybe I could make a donut. And then it just became like, wow, like if you look at just things around you in a normal, everyday normal objects, you can put a creative spin on it and be like, that could totally become a little avocado egg toast. So this is my fun little world that I love to be in this little world. So I'm intrinsically so motivated by looking at everyday things and just making something new out of it. These are little teeny tiny fruit pies that Mini Miscellaneous makes. And I'm gonna show you how to make a bottle cap pie magnet. When we start making bottle cap pies, we have to start with a big old bag of bottle caps. The only thing you want to look for is if the bottle cap that you're using was a twist off, it's gonna be in better shape, and those are the ones that we're gonna wanna use. So once you have your bottle caps sorted, you want to wash them. And no one wants to do this stuff because it's boring, but it's very important. Wash your bottle caps, they can be so gross. So now that you have your cleaned and washed bottle caps, you're ready for the next part, which is for some of the fruit pies, it's making a base for the crust. You want to take felt in the tan color, and you just want to make sure that it's the thin kind and not the kind that comes with the starch to it, because we want to be flexible like it's a real pie crust. So with really good scissors, what you want to do is you want to have your bottle cap laying on the felt so that you can cut out a square of felt that just goes around the shape of the circle. And there's no exact science, you just want to get a big enough square of the felt so that when you put it on the bottle cap, it covers all of the edges. So after you have your felt square ready, you need to use an adhesive and something like a popsicle stick. So you want to take your glue, completely cover the bottom and the sides of the bottle cap. So what you want to do with your felt and your popsicle stick is to center the felt in there and press it into the bottle cap and onto the sides. And you want to kind of crimp into the edges so that it's filling the bottle cap. You can go right ahead. Once you have your edges kind of pressed in there good, you want to take your scissors and you want to hold it upside down so that you can see where you're cutting, and you want to trim around the edge of the bottle cap. And again, you don't have to worry at this stage making it perfect, because you'll be able to fine tune that later. And it just sort of crimps right around and it starts looking cute already at this stage. How cute is it? So now we're ready to go ahead and fill these pies, and you can fill them with whatever you want, with so many different fillings. But for the pies we're making today, we're gonna do a cherry pie and a blueberry pie. For this, you need red seed beads and blue seed beads. Those are gonna look perfect as the fruit in our pies. So once you have your filled pie crust in the bottle cap, you want to put a little puddle of the glue in the bottom, and you want to make sure it goes to the sides fairly well and it has a good coverage, because this is what's obviously going to make the beads stick in there. And sprinkle the beads into your pie shell and kind of press them down with your finger. And we'll press that down a little bit. But to make these look extra cute, we're going to go ahead and make a lattice crust to go on the top. So to make your lattice crust, you want to take your really good scissors and the same colored felt again, and you want to cut about 1/8 of an inch thin strips, and you want to make them about as long as the square was that you originally cut. You want to make them longer than the diameter of the bottle cap itself. And you don't really have to worry about making these strips perfect. So what you want to do is you want to add to the top of your pie a dollop of the clear tacky glue. And because it's kind of sticky, you want to have your toothpick handy to just help the glue stay where you're trying to put it. And then with your little strips and your toothpick, you're going to start laying the strips across where you just had the glue. And I'm just laying the strips right over the beads and pressing them into that glue in the base. So for this, we're going to lift that side and we're going to lift that one. So now that you have your lattice strips kind of laid over that, What you want to do is you might need to add a little bit more touch of glue where the strips are touching to that outside edge, just to make sure that they have enough glue that they're going to stick. And then you just have to let it dry. So now it's dry. I have one where I used even thinner little strips so you can see that. All of the edges are dry, and now you just want to do the fun part where you just want to carefully trim off the excess of the felt right to the edge, all around where your edges were. And the last step for the bottle cap pies is to add a thick top coat of the clear glue. You can use a toothpick to take the glue and entirely cover each piece of lattice. When it dries, the clear glue will help the lattice look sugary, and it will seal the layers together. That's the last step to have your lattice crust blueberry bottle cap pie.